So, eto may bonus pa ako sa inyo, di ba? So, i-discuss ko sa inyo dito, very brief, no? So, you will have now an idea for the second quarter, what is the 1987 Constitution deeper. So, malalam niyo Constitution, what is Philippine Constitution, what is the Preamble, no? So, we know that Constitution, no? Just always remember this, no? That the Constitution, this is the supreme law or the fundamental law of the land. So, ito, 1987 Constitution, this is our fundamental law and the supreme law of the land. No? Pwede ring written or unwritten, but our Constitution ng Philippines is definitely written. So, syempre, mababasa nyo na yun kung saan-saan. May libro, may internet, you can read and browse those Constitution of the Philippines. So, ngayon pa lang, aralin nyo na or i-browse nyo na yung uh, 1987 Philippine Constitution, which composed of 18 articles from Article 1 to Article 18. So, na-discuss na natin dun sa part ng four elements of the state, yung Article 1, the national territory. Yung pag-aagawan sa mga teritoryo. So, Article 1 is known as the national territory. So, mababasa nyo dun yung archipelagic doctrine, no, na pinagtatalunan. So, 1987 Constitution, Article 1, national territory. And the following other articles will be discussed on second quarter. So that's Constitution. So what the Constitution does? So ano ba yung ginagawa ng Constitution? Definitely Constitution, sinabi natin Supreme Law of the Land, na it establish a government for the state. So mababasa natin sa Constitution ang paraan o ang sistema ng gobyerno ng isang bansa. No, syempre, ang Constitution may kapangyarihan na maglimita or mag-enumerate ng powers, no, ng isang government or ng officials. So, ganun kakapangyarihan ang Constitution. And, but under the 1987 Constitution, no, ito mga nilagay ko dito is just my explanation, no. The people are the boss of the government. Why? No? Ang mga tao daw ay boss ng government. Because the people, we hired the government. No? Kasi we, the people, is the government. No, tayo ang nagtatalaga ng mga officials. Tayo ang bumoboto. We also set rules, no, kung ano yung demand, kung ano yung kailangan ng mga tao. So the government work for that. And the people are the rightful and logical enforcers of the Constitution. Kasi tayo ang Constitution. Tayo ang gumawa ng batas. Tayo ang namamahala sa mga batas. And kung merong Constitution na kung ano yung ginagawa, meron namang hindi ginagawa ng Constitution. No? Sabi dito, Constitution does not give the people rights. Ang Constitution hindi man ang nagbibigay ng karapatan ng mga tao dahil ang mga karapatan is inborn or God-given or these are natural rights. And the people are born with all their rights. So, ang ginagawa lang naman ng Constitution, pinoprotektahan nito ang ating mga karapatan. The Constitution does not give our rights, but the Constitution just only protect our rights. So, ano yung mga pinoprotektahan na karapatan ng Constitution? No? Nililimitan nito yung powers ng government, no? Kasi baka maabuso, no? May hangganan, may limitasyon, no? And it just enumerated the Bill of Rights, no? Whether Bill of Rights is not there written, our rights still retain, no? Andun kahit hindi nakasulat. No, Article 3 is the Bill of Rights, no? There's 22 sections under the Bill of Rights. So, Bill of Rights mahaba ito, no? So, nandun yung mga karapatan ng mga tao. And without the Constitution, no, the state and the people have all the rights and there is no government. So, kung wala ang Constitution, no, wala rin ang gobyerno. Dahil tayo nga ang lumilikha ng gobyerno, tao, ang lumilikha ng gobyerno, tao, ang lumilikha ng konstitusyon at ng mga batas. And with the Constitution, the state and the people keep any rights not specifically delegated to the government by the Constitution. So, syempre, ang Constitution, no, siya ang nagtatalaga. And as what I have written, no, unfortunately, no, we can see that the Constitution is very essential kasi yan, nandun nakapaloob ang mga batas sa isang estado in the Philippines. But the government today seems to recognize only those rights. Kung ano yung nakasulat sa Constitution. Literal, kung ano yung nakasulat sa Constitution, yun lang yung karapatan mo. No? And even this often receive a little more than a lip service when your rights interfere with some government objective. Niliteral nila na hanggang dun ka lang sa konstitusyon, nandun lang ang karapatan mo. Yun yung parang pagkakamali ng gobyerno. Why? Because we know that government created to protect our rights. No, hindi nga nakasulat doon yung mga karapatan natin. No, hindi siya naglilikha ng mga karapatan, kundi ang konstitusyon ang nagpoprotekta lang sa mga karapatan natin. Kasi nga, inborn yung mga karapatan. Uh, after the government created to protect our rights, no, the goal should be higher than the protection of those rights. So dapat mas malaki ang hangganan o mas malaki ang ginagawang hakbang ng gobyerno para maprotektahan ang ating mga karapatan. So when government's own goals override your rights, no, override ng government ang iyong karapatan, no, the government is acting unconstitutionally. Bakit? It is said to be unconstitutional kasi nilalabag nito yung karapatan na nakasulat sa ating konstitusyon. And the government often states that these violations of citizens' rights are necessary for the good of society. So dapat syempre, for the common good, the Constitution is for the common good. So i-discuss ko yun mamaya during the preamble. And the society will serve by the laws which violate the rights of the citizen making up the society. So there should be an equal rights when it comes to the Constitution because it is the supreme law of the land. So doon nakalagay, no, ang mga batas. And the Constitution, our Constitution, the Philippine 1987 Constitution is divided into three major parts. So, though 18 yan, no, hinati ko siya, no? So, meron ng mga specific articles na naglalaman, no? Parang same scope, no? So, sige sabihin na natin, the Constitution of Government, the Constitution of Liberty, and the Constitution of Sovereignty. So, unahin na natin ang the Constitution of Government. So, under the Constitution of Government, nandiyan ang Article 6, 7, 8, 9. Article 6, this is the Executive Department. Article 7, this is the Legislative Department. Article 8, the Judiciary Department. And the Article 9, here's the Constitutional Commission. So, yung mga yon nabanggit na article, sila nag-establish as the major organ of the government. So, kasi 6, 7, 8, the three branches of the government and the constitutional commissions. And when it comes to liberty, mga kalayaan, karapatan, Article 3, nandiyan napasok ang Bill of Rights. So this will be the list of individual rights no, na pwedeng ma-invoke against the massive powers of the government in case of arbitrary and abusive exercise of these powers. So pwedeng ipaglaban, pwedeng mawala. And the Constitution of the Sovereignty under Article 17. So Article 17 is known as the amendments of the law. So kaya ang sovereignty, meron tayong soberanya o kalayaan. No? The people now have the authority to spell out, to approve, to amend, or to revise the Constitution or the law. In a plebiscite, no, may karapatan na i-ratify ang Constitution, baguhin, charter change, or any political exercise which requires the participation of the people. So these are the three major parts of the Constitution. No, na just a brief summary or the summary. No? Pero pag binaros nyo yan, 18 articles, so parang ito yung group siya according sa kanyang parts. So, also, ano ba yung mga characteristic para masabi natin na ang isang konstitusyon possesses a good concept. So, meron tayong the Philippines, na pinaklasify natin niya as broad, brief, and definite. So, a good constitution should be broad, brief, and definite. No? Pag sinabi tayong broad, ang constitution, kailangan yung scope niya, no, nandun talaga. The scope should be there. The scope should be, kailangan nasasakop siya. Kaya nga siya broad, kailangan malawak. Pero nasasakop lahat ng hinahanap natin. Which are the outlines, the organization of the government for the whole state. Ang constitution should be broad. The second one should be brief, maikli. It should be summarized. Pero, hindi siya din sobrang detailed. Kaya nga brief nandun na lahat ng hinahanap mo, brief. No? The detail should be there, but not should be so much detailed. No? Limitado lang para syempre, mas maintindihan. And it should be definite. No? Hindi na, definite meaning, hindi na dapat siya maraming ibang interpretation. Hindi maintindihan, iba yung meaning, iba yung pagkaka-adapt, ambiguous or paulit-ulit, no? Nagkaka-contradict kaya nagkakaroon ng opposing matters, no? Kailangan definite, no? Para maiwasan ang iba't ibang interpretation. So those are the characteristics of a good constitution. So ito na, pupunta na tayo ngayon sa preamble. So preamble, no, ito ay nasa Constitution. So preamble, it is the introduction of the Constitution, no? Para malaman natin kung ano yung purpose, kung ano yung philosophy, or kung ano yung background ng isang constitution, no? Pero ang preamble, no, it is not part of the Constitution. No, hindi siya parte ng Constitution kasi nga siya ay isang introduction lamang. Kumbaga siya yung nagbibigay ng background, ano yung meron sa isang constitution. Kumbaga sa aklat, introduction part, no? And preamble, no, kung ikukumpara natin to sa isang bahay, ang preamble, ang papel niya lang ay isang doormat. Nasa labas siya. Wala siyang, hindi naman sa walang silbi, no? Pero wala siyang malaking part no, sa bahay. And preamble, it is a clause at the beginning of the Constitution, no? Kung ano yung dahilan, bakit naggawa tong Constitution, what are the reasons or the objectives to attain in the Constitution. Preamble, it came from the Latin word preambulare. No? Preambulare meaning to walk before. So, sabi na nga natin dito, is the background of why the Constitution was initiated. Bakit nagawa ang Constitution na to? Para saan ang Constitution na to? And it states the origin and purpose of the Constitution and aids the interpretation of the Constitution. No? Parang ito yung background, introduction of the Constitution, para hindi mo pa lang nababasa yung nilalaman, meron ka ng idea what is inside that Constitution. So, simulan natin ngayon, no? So, i-interpret natin ngayon, no? Tungkol nga ba saan ang preamble of the 1987 Philippine Constitution, no? So, as you can see on the screen, that we, the sovereign Filipino people, implore the aid of Almighty God in order to build a just and humane society and establish a government which shall embody our ideals and aspirations, promote the common good, conserve and develop our patrimony, and secure to ourselves and our posterity the blessing of independence and democracy under the rule of the law and a regime of truth, justice, freedom, love, equality, and peace to ordain and promulgate this Constitution. So that will be the preamble. Pero ang tapos natin dyan, interpret natin ngayon ang preamble. So, preamble, what is the real meaning of the preamble? Word per word, alamin natin. No? We. No, kung mapapansin nyo kasi sa ibang konstitusyon, no, the 1899, the 1935, 1943, 1973, wala siyang we. No? Siyempre, constitution, preamble, we. No, we, tayo. So, parang claim that's for the good of the society. We. Our present preamble begins with the word we instead of the word the in the 1935 Constitution in order to sound more nationalistic. Siyempre, we, tayo, and include the present generation. No? And not only those who were around when the Constitution was promulgated, we, no, even you're not there when the Constitution was inaugurated. No? Siyempre, sinasakot pa rin ang current generation. The sovereign Filipino people, of course. The power to govern comes from the people, we. No? And they are the source of power. No? In the making of the Constitution, no, meron na tayong tinatawag na salus populis est suprema lex, which means the welfare of the people is the supreme law. So we, maramihan, no, it is for the common good. And syempre, hindi mawala dyan, Almighty God, as a Catholic country, Philippines, Almighty God, this also shows the religiosity of the Filipino people as they always invoke the will of God in their daily activities and also ask for divine guidance in the desire for good governance. So, kailangan may basbas pa rin ng Almighty God. Just and humane society. So, this refers to a society wherein gives the attention to the less privileged and the oppressed, so the poor. No, kasi nga, kailangan na magkaroon ng equal society. And the statements give substance to the subjects of social justice. Oo, na hostisya, no, sa human rights, sa karapatan ng mga tao, no? When it comes to wealth, ideal government. No? So, tapos na tayo, we the sovereign Filipino people, imploring the idea of the aid of Almighty God in order to build a just and humane society. So now, establish a government. So what government? So we need an ideal government. A government is really accountable o talagang pagkakatiwalaan, maaasahan ng mga tao, no? Which is transparent, efficient, responsible to the needs of the people. So the government aspirations. So we have more aspirations that Man inspires to be happy. No, we need to satisfy our needs. We need to satisfy our aspirations. And these aspirations as citizens of the government. Now, the government should provide the basic necessities of life. Kailangan gampanan na makunin ng gobyerno ang kanyang uh, makunin our responsibility in society. No, to have a good governance and the common good. Common good, no, as enshrined in the general welfare clause and the dictum that those who have less in life should have more in law. No? So, kung sino yung mga nasa poor na marginalized people, they should have an equal opportunity, no, in the society. No? Those less privileged in life should have more in law. Kasi common good to the more people means it should be good for all and not just for one person but for all the Filipino people. So ganun ang mensahe ng preamble. And patrimony, this refers to the conservation of our natural resources. So syempre, nandiyan pa rin yung pagpapahalaga sa environment. Specifically, the land, the air, the water, no, for future generations to enjoy with the next generation. And the independence and democracy. As stated in Article 2, no, the Declaration of State Policies and Principles, Section 1, that the Philippines is a democratic Republican state. So, independence and democracy, means that the right to chart our own destiny without the interference of our other states. So, may kalayaan tayo na mamahala sa sarili nating bansa. And the right of the people to have their own government. Excuse me. So, and the rule of law. Of course, this pertains to a society where there is an order and law enforcement, no? And it presupposes that uh, the existence of agencies impose order on lawless elements, no? So kailangan natin ng the rule of the law. Sabi nga na, no one is above the law. No, walang mas mataas sa batas. No, they should have equal rights. And the last sentence for the stanzas, regime of truth, justice, freedom, love, equality, and peace. No, there should be an important qualities that the Philippines as a state must strive for peace. No, not like in the Mindanao area, freedom of the press, equal opportunities, justice for extrajudicial killings and other issues in the government, and the truth in the government transactions, which is yun yung mga current issues natin in the government, no? The government should follow the Constitution. No? So wala dapat masamaan sa kung sino man sa batas. No one is above the law. Because the law is really reiterated, as written in the Constitution. The government and the people should follow the law. No? Hindi dapat inaabuso, hindi dapat uh, dudumihan, kakaroon ng anomalya. So that's the lesson of the preamble. It is very for the common good, for the society, for a group of people, no? Equality, that's the promotion of the preamble. So yun yung background. Nagkaroon na siguro kayo ng idea. Ano kayo yung nilalaman ng 1987 Philippine Constitution Article 1 to 18? So as stated, sa mga nabanggit ko, the word per word sa preamble natin, no? Yun yung mga magiging laman ng articles. So, di ba, article 1, national territory. Nabanggit na dun yung mga natural resources. Yung sa sa patrimony, nabanggit na yung natural resources, environmental resources. Sa article 2, nabanggit na din yung Philippines is a democratic republican state, no, at iba't iba pang concerns. So, malalaman nyo yan. Sa second quarter, so it's very exciting to discuss to you, no, the 1987 Philippine Constitution from Article 1 to Article 18. So that's the end. So this is just a bonus part for you to understand, and you will have a bonus background, no, when we discuss the 1987 Philippine Constitution. Thank you so much for listening again.